Good morning. It's Friday, and we have done 2 weeks of school, first grade at home. Congratulations. You did a great job. Now, boys and girls, let's do our 120th day of school. And we always know when we do a number that ends in 0, it's at the end of our line, but it's a different shape. It's a balloon. So be sure you do that. Now, guess what? This is going to be a little different here. Here's our March calendar. By the way, I did my 120th card, and I'll put that up in a minute. Now, look at our March calendar. Generally, we would do 27, and then we would say March 27th, 2020 or 2020. But this is what I want you to do just for today, because when we come back, you're going to have a new month, and I'm going to give you April. So I want you to fill in all the rest of the numbers. So after 27 comes 28. Then we drop down, we do 29, and we do 30, and we do 31. Now, that's it, because 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. That's March, except February, which has 28 until leap year. Okay, so that's all done, and then you can do your copy work, and then I'm going to show you a little bit more about that same math that we did yesterday. So look over here at my board, and remember, this is a little bit hard, but I have those other problems still up there. This is adding 9 to a number, but you start by adding 10. So when you learn math, you learn to sometimes remember these problems, and you learn to sometimes figure out a trick. And this trick right here is understanding that when you add 10 to a number, you have 10, and one more is 11, is kind of like adding 9 to a number, but it's one less. So if everything else is the same, the answer will be one less. So 10 and one more is 11, but this is one less than 10, so 9 and 1 has to be one less than the answer. And 10 plus 2 is 12, but 9 is one less than 10, so 9 plus 2 would be one less than 12. Or on the number line, or the 100 chart, the next number down, going towards 0. 10 plus 3 is 13. 9 is one less than 10, so 9 plus 3 is 12, and so on. So look at that and think about that. But then we're going to do this one again. So I do want you to think about this and look at it and stop the camera, and this will be your chance to choose whichever one you want, or if you want, do all of those problems. So you'll have a chance to copy them. You can do a pattern, and you can even make yourself challenged and mix these up. You don't have to do them in order. You can mix them up, or challenge yourself and mix those up, or challenge yourself and mix those up, and then try to answer them. So I just want you to practice that. You do have a couple of math sheets, and you can work on these also. Take your time. Now these are the clock. Remember, we did this before, and it's the half hour, 3:30. So when we do 3:30, the 3, the first number, will be the short arrow, and the long one will always go to the 6. Now, I didn't do that completely right, because when it's on the half, usually that arrow is kind of in between, a little bit after the 3. Let's try this one. So 12:30. So it would go up to the 12, but remember, when it's the 30, it's going to go slightly in between the 12 and the 1, but the long hand always goes to the 6. Now, my hands don't look like one is short and one is long. This is kind of hard to do, so do your best. Just give it a try. Let's do the short one. to the 7, but a little bit in between, and the long one down to the 6. So see what you can do. The other page is doubles plus 1. Now, do you remember that? Kind of hard. 3 plus 4. Well, you know what? If you need to use your pennies, if you need to use some things to count, you just go right ahead. You can always use that grid that we have. But if you can remember that the smaller number of 3 and 4, if you double it, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 1 more is 7. You take your time and do that. And if it's just too hard, well, I understand, because you're learning a lot of good, challenging math. So do what you can, but always remember, if you need to do some extra things, then just go ahead and get out that grid and get out your pennies and just start putting them on. So here's 3, and then you get your 4. And it would be smarter to do them on the lower grid. And you can make this grid. Remember, I made it. I just drew some lines. Your mom and dad could help you. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you could do it that way with some of these problems. And that is just fine. So don't forget you have that to do. Now, after your math lesson, it's time for spelling. But remember on Friday what you do for spelling. Somebody reads those words to you, and you remember what you've been practicing. And you write them down. You can do it in your copy workbook, or you can do it on a sheet of paper. And just do your best. You've got your spelling words. You just give them to your mom or dad or your sister, and they read them. And then you remember that you have been writing J-U-M-P, and you write that down. And that's learning how to spell. And you can do that. Now I want to show you what I did here. I know we worked on this just a little bit. How to make maple syrup. And we wrote down, or I should say I wrote down, find a maple tree, drill a hole in the tree, put a tube into the hole. Then I added some more things. Did you add some more? Did you think of some more things to add? I thought of hang a bucket under the tube, watch for sap, collect it, boil the sap for a long time. What would be the next thing to do? You're right. Eat it. So let's say, eat some syrup. And you know, we ate it on ice cream. We also ate it out of a spoon, but we loved it any way we could get it. So that would be your writing. And then, you know what comes after that is reading. And I'm going to get some more books for you, and maybe get a book for all of us, or a book for some of us we can read together. But I think we're going to have a little break. So don't forget to read, and don't forget to have fun. All right, boys and girls. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.